everything that you need to do. If you want to forward your calls at a certain time of the day or night to a certain phone number at a certain location, we want the end user to be able to do that, not just, you know, a phone person. If you want to be able to change the speed dials on your phone, we want you to be able to do that. Print out the new little card. You don't have to go to somebody else to do that. So our goal is to make this simple enough that you guys are the ones who are doing things. The other key component is this network. How are you connecting to all these things? And you really have to understand network. I was just talking to my developer this morning, and one of the key factors that we found that our niche in the marketplace is that we can make our service run on a number of different platforms, on a number of different internet connectivity sessions. So we don't necessarily have to be that provider. We can be, and we can provide that. But being able to know all the different aspects and characteristics of broadband and DSL and T1s and fiber and all of those things is really critical in our business. And a lot of people just don't care. They go, well, you know, whatever internet connection you have, and then my voice doesn't sound really good. You guys are the ones who suffer. Your image is the thing that suffers as far as what people are doing. So understanding networks is really a key component and one of our biggest benefits. Excuse me. Can a customer move from a hosted to a premise-based system if they grow? Because there's a lot of people out there that are saying that you should go hosted if you're really small, but as you get bigger, you should look at buying your own phone system. I have a company that's gone from a single phone, single user operation. He now has 35 phones, runs a call center, and this is in about 2.5 years. His business hasn't done anything but grow, and he's had the same phone system from day one. All he's had to do is buy $170 phones to make his system work better. So it's a really critical piece to kind of, you know, can this system grow? We started the hosted platform about 6.5 years ago. It was kind of a dream of ours. We said, there's got to be a way to make this easy for people to do things. And so, you know, a lot of people were doing premise-based, here's a phone system, making it work, and all these kind of things. We said, we've got to make something easier that'll grow and that really doesn't have. If you become a business of 1 million phones, we can still service you on the same system. The only thing that's going to change, you're going to buy more phones. And that's a really simple component. If you have a phone system, a lot of them are based for 25 phones. After 25 phones, you got to throw that away, get a whole new phone system in there. And they're not cheap. So, could a customer use their existing circuits? Yes, we talked about this, bringing your own bandwidth, BYOB. Bring your own bandwidth. We don't care. We just need to make sure we understand what you're doing and how we can do that. I'm doing my first order outside of our area down in Kansas. Well, we actually did our first one down in Naples, Florida. But I have a customer down in Kansas City, Kansas, who I just talked to this morning. He said, Jim, I got a 100 meg connection from Cogent. I said, what are you paying for that? He said, $350. And I said, that's dirt cheap. I mean, that's a fantastic deal. How'd you cut that deal with them? He said, well, they already came into my building. So, you know, I made him a deal, said, you know, you've already got the infrastructure here. Just let me use that and run on it. Made great sense to me. So he's basically kind of gone out now, and I said, we can run on top of that same network. So now he can put his phone system on this big internet pipe that he has, and his business is in. He's getting rid of $1,200 a month in T1 costs for a phone system. So, and this is a 25-person office, so it's not a huge office, but you figure $1,200 a month in T1s, that goes away. I'm putting this on top of my own phone system. By the way, his phone system was about $688 a month. So basically, he cut his bill in half, saved him 50% over what he was doing. He's got more features, functionality. We're integrating it into his customer relations management tool so he can keep track of his customer base and everything that's associated with it, all in saving him 50% over what he's doing. That's what hosting can do for you. These are some of the other things that you should really look for. Lower cost, increased productivity. You want to minimize your support costs. You don't have to have a phone guru in your office anymore. We can make these things simple enough that anybody can really handle the services. You want to be able to do disaster planning and business continuity. That's a real critical function in this world. If all of a sudden your business is blown away by a tornado, flooded out, burned down, whatever you want to be, how are people going to get a hold of you? What can you do? Our tool is very simple. We have a little planning device where you can do a disaster recovery of what's going to happen. In our office, we have all of our reps can work from home. So if our building got blown away. All we do is we go into an internet connection anywhere in the world, go to that internet connection, grab the line and say, okay, now we want our disaster recovery plan to go into place. Happens instantaneously. All my calls are routed now to my disaster recovery plan. I'm back and in business in seconds. It's not days or months when my building is rebuilt. I'm basically back in business immediately. So those are things that people really want to kind of go through. You want something that's very flexible, very scalable as far as how it can grow. We're happy with one-user customers. I love the one-user customers. I know they're going to grow. I know they're going to get bigger for me, and they always do. And then we've got some bigger ones that are 200 phones at a particular location. So you can grow, and the systems you want you want those capabilities in there. Features, 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 and more features. Things like unified messaging, where your emails come in, or your voicemails come into your email box. Great that you can save them. Quest hates me because when we're in a lawsuit and they go, well, we never said that to you. I said, well, would you like a copy of the voicemail that you left me that said that? And all of a sudden, I'm settled. I mean, my attorney thinks I'm a genius, and I'm like, I just save my emails. I'm good at it. So you want things like that that are going to help your business so that you can go back to people and say, yeah, this is what you sent to me, or this is where you did things. Inbound fax to the desktop. Don't have to have a fax machine anymore. It comes right into your email box. Great, simple tools that make you look more professional. Never busy fax. Paper's not out. I mean, how many times have you had to fax and fax and fax something because somebody's fax machine was unplugged, out of paper, anything like that? Never busy. Always comes into your email box. Makes you look more professional. And definitely things are future-proof as far as where we're going with things. I mean, if you want to upgrade your phone system and it's a premise-based system, they're going to charge you to do that. If I've got Craig calls me up and says, you know, Jim, it'd be nice if my phone system did this. We add that feature into there. We give it to you. We give it to you. We give it to you. Everybody gets that feature. One of my first customers called me up one night and he goes, Jim, I want to go to any phone and I want to push one button. He said, I want everything to go to voicemail. I said, you want night mode? I didn't even know what it was called. I said, you want night mode? Yeah, I want night mode. Okay, you know, I don't think we have that feature yet, but let me see what we can do here. By 3 o'clock that afternoon, it was about noon, he called me. By 3 o'clock, my developer had it in production, set up and ready to go. We pushed it out to the entire network that night. Everybody on our system had night mode available to them on all their phones immediately. Those are the kind of features and functionality that you guys get on a hosted platform versus if I added it to hers, then I have to come out and add it to yours, I have to come out and add it to yours. In hosted, it's all in one place. Great way to kind of go. So this is my contact information. If you want anything, if you just want to talk about telephones, I love to talk about telephones. It is my... People go, what did you do before you got into the telecom business? And I said, well, I sold boxed chocolates. I ran a wholesale division of a candy company in Chicago. And I didn't bring... that's the only part of the business I miss. I used to take Boy Scouts through the plant and turn them green. It was fun. Giving them samples the whole way. But definitely we like to talk about anything with telecom. We'll definitely kind of help you out, guide you in the right way. I got to tell you a quick story about why I got hired at Velocity Telephone. I was the owners of our business. I was their Quest rep. Oh. And for 7.5 years, I was his Quest rep, and I lived in the Quest world. And he called me up one day and he said, Jim, go to lunch with me. I said, I've known you 7.5 years. Why are we going to lunch? Just go to lunch with me. I'm like, okay, fine. So I went to lunch with him. He says, you know, I'm starting this telephone company. I said, yeah, no, you're starting it. He's like, I want you to come run this telephone company. And I go, okay, I got to ask, why me? You know, it was kind of an out of the blue type thing, but why me? He said, Jim, from the day you started working with me 6.5 years ago, he said, you've always told me the right thing to do for my business. You didn't necessarily do what was right for Jim Hickle. You didn't do what was right for Quest, but you did do what was right for my company. And he said, that's how I want to run this company. That's what we want to be. So, you know, if you've got a good deal, I'll tell you, you got a great deal. You know, I'm not afraid of that because I want you to tell other people, you know what, talk to this guy. He at least has got the opportunity to kind of give you the good information regarding phone systems and phone service. So that's what we're all about. That's what our company is. I appreciate the time today. If you want to afterwards, I've got a whole slide thing on the virtual office, but I don't want to go through it right now. But you're more than welcome to kind of hear some other things about the system and how the service works and things like that. So I'll let everybody go from there. And Courtney.